It is a pleasure to introduce Professor Sinera De Mello, an esteemed educator with a passion for mathematics and a commitment to fostering academic excellence. With an impressive background, holding an MSc in mathematics, Professor De Mello brings not only expertise in the subject matter, but also a keen ability to inspire and engage students. With 4 years of dedicated teaching experience, Professor De Mello has established herself as a dynamic and innovative instructor. Her approach emphasizes conceptual understanding and critical thinking, allowing students to develop a deep appreciation for mathematics beyond classroom. Through various teaching methods, she effectively caters to diverse learning styles and encourages an interactive learning environment. I now invite Professor Sinera De Mello to proceed further with the session.
Good afternoon, students. We are right now at the last session of the day, that is certainly mathematics. So we'll start with our session. So here is the TET preparation session for you all for specifically math subject. Already you all know how your paper 1 and paper 2 are divided with respect to the standards given. So just a quick revision of that particular thing, that paper 1, which is for primary stage, again it is for 150 minutes and you will be allotted 150 questions. That means every question will consist of only 1 minute. So you all have to be super quick while solving your maths questions. And for that, you all will require certain tricks and techniques of solving. So here is the distribution of the subjects which is given in front of you all, wherein CDP, that is Child Development and Pedagogy, consists of 30 marks and 30 questions. Same for English, same for maths, Marathi and PVS. Already we have discussed about other subjects. We quickly move on to the last subject, that is mathematics. Speaking about mathematics, for primary standard, you have the content for 24 marks. So 24 marks the content consists of headers, like you all have number system. Now if you all discuss with regards to number system will majorly consist of the topics like whole number, then place value, then you have composite numbers, then you have integers. All these things will be involved in this particular criteria. Apart from that, you will even have LCM, HCF, also known as greatest common multiple, that is GCD or GCN. Other than that, you will have integers and operation on integers. Okay, operation on integers includes addition, multiplication, division, subtraction. That is your first category, that is number system. The next category that we have is of fractions. Fractions again has its types, like you have proper fractions, improper fractions, mixed fraction, vulgar fractions. Then you have comparison between degrees. Then you have different types of addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division on fraction. Again, you have you call this square roots and squares, which is also known as comparison of fraction, is also included in this particular fraction wala concept. Later you have arithmetic, and under arithmetic you will have different types of criteria. You will have to discuss with regards to percentages, discount, commission, average, profit and loss. Then you will have different types of formula being involved over here. Just like you will have CP formula, CP meaning cost price. You will have selling price ka formula. So you will have different categories involved in arithmetic as well. Okay, for geometry, you will be given different types of figures, and based on the figures, based on the construction, also different types of questions will be asked to you. So that will be included under geometry section. Then you will have measurements like length, weight, capacity, time, okay, perimeter, area. All these things will be included in measurements. Say for example, if a building is of height so and so, and if a person is standing at point B, So what would be the distance of a person from that particular building? So all these kind of questions will be asked under measurement header. Then you will have, lastly, you will have data application, which is considered to be an easy kind of question. Why? Because learning through data application is very easy, because here it will be bar graph, statistics, data presentation. You just have to look over that particular data and accordingly give the responses. But if you miss out onto any certain observation, it may lead to certain confusion. So obviously the topics or subunits which are easy, if you learn it wisely, you can score nicely. Okay. Apart from 24 marks, apart from the this content part, we have pedagogical part as well, wherein your if you are being a maths teacher, how will you deal with your students in that particular situation? Or how strong is your maths knowledge will be checked in this pedagogical section. So your different types of definition of mathematics, then what is the aim, what is the value, what is the scope of that particular subject will be asked in this pedagogical 6 marks ka question. If you're dealing with pedagogy, you will even deal with different types of teaching methods. Now, this you all have already done, and most of the students who are ex-students who are actually working in school are even applying in their day-to-day life while teaching. So, methods of teaching is nothing but application. Explanation method, discussion method, then you can have chalk and talk method, then you will have experimentation method, demonstration methods. But which exactly will be best suited according to the math subject will be discussed under this. Same thing over here, instructional planning, how your maths teacher should be, how she or he will react to that particular situation when certain cases happens. So here you have to keep in mind when we discuss regarding pedagogy of any subject, you have to keep in mind our NEP, okay, National Education Policy, focuses majorly on what? Focuses on child-centered curriculum. So if the question is given, you have to select the best suited option according to the children's development. How the children will be benefited, based on that you have to select the option. Now the question mark is, say for example, there are four options. Out of these four options, two options are mostly almost same, almost similar to each other. Like say for example, A and B option are similar and they are best suited for child-centered curriculum. So you can delete the other two, that is C and D option. Now you're left with only two options, that is A and B. Out of A and B, you have to select the most suited answer. So for that thing, what you can do is you can use that KBC ka 50-50 wala situation. What is KBC? Kaun karega crorepati. So they have that 50-50 option. What you will do over here is you will eliminate the part which is actually bothering you. The second most thing that NEP follows is nothing but inclusive education. Okay, apart from child-centered curriculum, the NEP also focuses on inclusive education. The term inclusive over here means what? Including each and every member while teaching. Whether he is poor, whether he is from a strong background, you should involve all. So according to both the situation, whichever is the best suited answer, you will give tick to that particular answer. So such type of questions will be asked under pedagogy. So we will quickly move ahead with the types of the questions you will be facing. When we will discuss mathematics, you will come to know what type of questions you will be facing in exam. So obviously, the question like this, over here if you see the numbers, okay, which is the greatest one of the following numbers? Here the question is like 2 plus 2 plus 2, the whole raised to 2. Second option, 2 plus 2, the whole raised to 2, and the whole again raised to 2. The third, 2 into 2 into 2, the whole raised to 2, and the fourth option, 4 raised to 3. So there are four options given. What you have to do in such kind of situation? Can you all just give me a hint point? If such type of question is asked in front of you, how will be your first instinct? What will you do over here? What do you think, according to you, will be the correct option? Any guesses? Are you able to see the screen properly? Is it visible? Okay, so in such type of scenario, you have to solve all the four options in order to check which option or which answer is the greatest one of the following. So in this case, I will have to solve each of the options. So here you can see option A, B, C and D, all the four being solved, and you will get the answers as 36, 256, 64 and 64. Just by viewing the question, you all will think that maybe C or D might be the greatest option. Just by looking at the first glance, you all might have thought of like that. But when you actually solve, the scenario completely changes. So maths is not about, just randomly taking on to options. You have to get it correct only when you mark it correct. Okay, so that is first type of question. Second question is based upon the knowledge that you have based on number system. So here the question is based upon divisibility. You'll have different types of divisibility tests, which you will even get in your second year for D.El.ED textbooks. So in your D.El.ED textbooks, you have a table, a column which has been prepared, wherein the divisibility test of each of the numbers is given, ranging from 2 to 15. So there are similar divisibility tests also, like say for example 2, 4 and 8 have similar divisibility tests, 6 and 12 have similar divisibility tests, and 3 and 9 have similar divisibility tests. So while preparing the chart or while preparing for your study, you can prepare the similar ones together so that learning becomes easier for you. So here the question is direct question, and if you have the knowledge of this particular type of question, you can easily answer that the option is B, that is second and third is the correct option. So here you are not supposed to get confused between Roman numbers 1, 2, 3, but your correct options are down, that is A, B, C, D. You have to choose from there. So B becomes your correct option, that point number 2 and point number 3 are uh, the correct statements. Okay. So this example which we just saw, that is example 1 and 2, falls under the category of number system. Okay. Followed by next, we have this next question based on which the solution is also given. Now certain questions will not have easy tricks. Why, why actually your TET or CTT doesn't get clear is because of the speed or the practice is lacking. Because certain maths questions which are asked, okay, according to the analysis done, certain maths questions which have been asked in exam takes more than a minute to solve. And even after you devote that 1 minute, there is no guarantee whether you will get correct answer. For that reason, you need to practice it in such a way that you get the best answer in less timing. Therefore, practice is very important over here. The question over here is based on fractions. Okay. So Ram left one third of his property to his widow and 3/5 of the remainder to his daughter. He gave the rest to his son, who received rupees 6,400. So how much was his original property worth? So over here, Ram has distributed his property under three sections, that is his wife, his daughter and his son. So you need to find out the original amount Ram had in which he divided under these three sections. So obviously you don't know what was the original property, and if we don't know anything, we have to assume something. So here we are assuming Ram's original property as capital alphabet P. I hope you all can see it over here. We are assuming it as P. So we assume it over here as P, and then what do? We start with the next point, that is, okay. So Ram left one third of his property to his widow. So we will take the first section. We have to divide the question under three headers, that is for widow, daughter and son. So the first point says that he is leaving one third of his property for his widow. So one third multiplied by original property, that is P. Okay, so that is the first section being clear. Okay, so how much amount is left to the widow right now? One third of its property. Now, in the second scenario, what you will do, from the original property, one third is taken by the widow, one third is taken by who? By his wife. So you have to subtract it. So this was my original amount. This was the original property worth, out of which the widower was given one third of the property. So you have to subtract it, and when you subtract, the answer comes equals to two-thirds of the property. This was your second step. Now we move on to the daughter. He has given it to his daughter also. And how much did he give to his daughter? 3/5. So we need to do it in that way. So how are we going to do? Determine the amount left to the daughter. So Ram then left 3/5 of the remainder to his daughter. So here you have received two-third, 2 upon 3p. So 2 upon 3p will be multiplied by 3 by 5. Why? Because it is given to his daughter. So out of the amount left, it has been multiplied by 3 by 5. 3 and 3 gets cancelled out. You are left with 2 by 5p. Now this is the amount left with whom? It's left with, it was given to daughter. So after giving to daughter, how much is it he left with? So let us check that. Calculate the remaining amount after giving it to the daughter. So here, after giving 3/5 of the remainder to the daughter, the remaining property is how much? So 2/3 P minus 2/3 of 2/5 of P. So 2/5 was given to the daughter, and this was the remaining amount that you earlier got. So you have to subtract this both, and the answer that you get after subtracting is 6 upon 15P. Sorry, 4 upon 15P. This is the amount that you get which is left. Now over here, if you read the third part, he gave the rest to his son, which is worth rupees 6400. So 6400 amount the son received, which is the left amount which he is receiving, and this is also the left amount which is being received. So obviously both of these quantities are equal to each other, because this is the left amount and this is also the left amount which is given to the son. So both these quantities are equal to each other, which is 4 upon 15p, therefore equal to 6400. When you solve this by keeping p on one side and taking 4 by 15 on the other side, the division gets converted into multiplication, and you will get the answer of p as 24,000. So Ram had worth property of rupees 24,000. So this was the original amount Ram had. I hope the explanation is clear to you all. Any doubts? You all can take a screenshot of this particular sum so that you get a proper idea of how exactly we are supposed to go about in such kind of question. Moving ahead to the next one. Here the question is based upon the next category, that is called as average. So over here, the man walks from P to Q at the rate of 5 km per hour and returns from Q to P at the rate of 3 km per hour. So it's the same point, P to Q and Q to P, but sometimes you do take shortcuts. So over here from P to Q, he is traveling at the rate of 5 km per hour, but while returning back, it is at the rate of 3 km per hour. You need to calculate the average rate in the kilometer per hour for the whole journey, meaning P to Q and Q to P. You have to calculate that average speed, not total distance covered, average speed. And according to the speed, what is the formula if you all know? Speed equals to, you all should know by now. Come on. Speed equals to what? Speed equals to distance upon time. Even if I'm incorrect, even if I'm not correct, just correct me, na? Okay, so speed is equals to distance upon time. Correct. Taking this formula into consideration, we will just follow the steps. So what are we going to do over here? The length of the journey be the LCM of 3 and 5. They've just randomly given the numbers 3 and 5, so we will take the LCM of both the numbers, which comes equals to 15 kilometers. Why? Because 3 5s are 15. So 15 kilometer is nothing but the, yes, Lesita, you have something to say? Okay, so 15 kilometer is the LCM of 3 and 5. After we get the LCM, we have to keep it on the time taken. So time taken in going from P to Q is equals to 15 upon 5. Okay, why 15? 15 is the LCM, and from P to Q you had taken 5 kilometers, and therefore it is 15 divided by 5, which is equals to 3. Same thing you will cover for Q to P, which is 15 divided by 3. Why 3? Because 3 was considered from Q to P. So that is 5. So when you have both the times, when you add the time comes equals to 5 plus 3, that is 8. So we already have the time with us now. What are we supposed to calculate? We are supposed to calculate the average speed. In order to calculate that, we need to have the average distance. Now this distance which was calculated, it was only for one time. You have to calculate for both the times. And therefore it will be 30. It is not 15. 15 plus 15, which will be 30. Why? Because it is going from P to Q and again returning from Q to P. So it is 15 plus 15, which is 30, divided by time. Time is nothing but 8, which we already received. Now over here, you might arrive at this point that I have received the answer as 30 upon 8, so we'll stop here. And you won't get the answers over here. So you might get confused that even after solving it correctly, even after the steps are correct, I have no options available here. So am I doing it wrong? And then again you will waste time. What you are supposed to do is some questions, some options will be little tricky. Okay, in this case, you just have to go one step forward and you have to simplify that particular fraction. It is 30 by 8. 2 divides both the numbers. So 15 by 4 is the simplified version of that particular term. Therefore, the answer over here is 15 by 4, which is option number B, which you can see over here. Okay. Next. So this question is based upon NH. Next, if you see, a bicycle is sold as 20% profit. If it had been sold at 20% loss, the selling price would have been rupees 100 less. The cost price of the cycle is, the options are given to you. So this type of question comes under profit and loss type of situation. Again, for profit and loss, you need to know different types of formulas. Okay, you have formula for cost price, you have formula for selling price, you have formula for percentage of cost price and percentage of selling price. We need to know them all. So over here, we don't know the cost price. So let us assume that particular term as okay, we are considering the cost price over here as 100 since we don't know the cost price. I'm just randomly assuming it to be 100. In that scenario, if I'm taking cost price at 100, okay, selling price over here is given as 20% profit. Sold at 20% meaning that is selling price. So selling price is 20% profit. If according to cost price 100, if you are taking selling price 20%, your profit will be 120%. Are you all aware about the formula of cost price, percentage of cost price and percentage of selling price? That particular formula is been applied over here and accordingly that particular answer is being achieved. So if you are having 20% ka profit, you will have rupees 120 as selling price, and say for example you have 20% ka loss. In that scenario, you will have rupees 80 left with you. So these are the two digits that we get in two scenarios. By keeping cost price as 100, if selling price is 20% profit, we have rupees 120 as selling price, and if selling price is 20% loss, we have selling price as 80 rupees. Now, when we take the difference over here means what? Subtraction between both the numbers. If we take the difference between selling price, it is 120 minus 80, which is nothing but 40 rupees. Now, if you take 40 rupees ka difference, then your selling price is how much? Your selling price is 100 because here It was kept 100, and based on this observation you had solved SP. So by keeping selling price as 40, by keeping cost price as 100, you get selling price as 40. Okay. Therefore, if 100 is the difference, see it is like this. If 40 is given and for 40 if I am getting 100, then how much will I get for 100? How much will I get for 100? So that is question mark. So what you will do simply over here, you will just cross multiply. And when you cross multiply, you will get the answer over here as 100 into 100 divided by 40, which in turn is nothing but rupees 250 on solving. Okay, you just have to cross multiply and you will get the answer as 250. The 250 becomes your correct option. I hope I'm clear with this particular sum. Okay. We move on to the next one. Okay. This type of questions that you will get are very easy type of question if you actually use your logical thinking and critical thinking with respect to maths. This is a pedagogical type of question which will be asked for 6 marks in total, in full 30 marks ka maths section. So the nature of mathematics is, come on, unmute and answer. I want active members now. I want everyone to answer. It's not that difficult. The nature of mathematics, according to you, will be what? Ornamental, difficult, logical, not for common. What, according to you, will be the best suited answer? How is the nature of mathematics? Come on, girls.
Logical.
Logical. Logical is the correct response. Very good. So yes, logical is the correct option. Second option over here is mathematics is the science of space, numbers, calculation, and all of this. The answer is all of this because mathematics is definitely queen of sciences and it includes all of these categories, that is calculations, space, and numbers. If you see the next one, it is which is the teacher-centered method. Okay, when we speak about teacher-centered method, it is mostly lecture method which is involved in teacher-centered method. According to teacher, which will be the best suited method used, that is lecture method. Which one of the following is not a teaching technique? Such type of questions will be asked in your exam. You have to read the question twice, thrice. Why? Because here the question is not direct. They have not asked which of the following is a teaching technique. Not a teaching technique. Okay, which cannot be used for teaching. That is claim and chart. Okay, so that is the correct option. These are pedagogical type of questions which will be asked for 6 marks. This is for paper 2. Again, you have the same categorization. Only difference you will see in the fourth column, that is maths and science will be totally asked for 60 marks, or you have the option of selecting history and geography if you are applying for paper 2. Okay. So obviously maths and science will comprise of 60 marks, in which 30 marks for maths and 30 marks for science. Okay. Here a little higher level of questions will be asked because you will be dealing with the syllabus of 6 to 8. Again, the same criteria you will have, that is number system, fractions, arithmetic sets, then algebra, geometry. You have one more section. Instead of measurements, they have mensuration and data handling. Again, same category you have, but with difficulty level increased over here. So the type of the question, again, for pedagogical type, you have such type of questions being asked. Again, the same thinking, same remedial teaching. Diagnostic is a new type of category which has been involved over here. Resource utilization, meaning how your teaching aids can be used, or else how your mathematics textbook is useful in incorporating different values or etc. All such type of questions can be asked in pedagogy dealing with paper 2. Now, if you all check, this is a very simple type of question. What type of number 15, 21, 28 and 36 are? If you just check, will you all be able to identify what type of numbers are these? 15, 21, 28 and 36? Are they square numbers, triangular numbers, pentagonal, and rectangular? Now you should be clear with one thing, that there is no such terms existing which is having pentagonal and rectangular. So wo option to gaya. Okay, you don't have option number 3 and 4 because those words do not exist. Now you're confused between only two sections, that is square numbers and rectangular numbers. So now just try and arrange and just find out the answer. What according to you will be this type of numbers, that is 15, 21, 28, and 36.
Triangular.
Very good. It is a triangular number. Why? Because if you see the pattern over here, right over here, you have the pattern in front of you. Triangular number patterns are arranged in a pyramid form. So here, if you see the ranges, the numbers goes increasing in a proper sequence. Okay, so one, after one you have three, after three you have six. So one में कितना ऐड किया तभी three हुआ? You have two numbers added. If you check over here, from 3 it goes to 6. So how many numbers did you add in 3? I added 3. How many numbers will you add in 6 to get 10? How many numbers will you add in 6 in order to get 10? 6 plus how much is equal to 10?
Or
4, yes. And 10 plus how much is equal to 15?
5.
5,
5. So what will be my next number? 15 plus
6,
6, very good. And what would be that number? 21?
21,
Yes.
21 plus how much? 7?
7,
7.
That is how much?
28,
28.
28. Correct. 28. And 28 plus how much will I add? 8,
8,
which will give you how much?
36.
30.
36.
36.
Are we getting the same type of numbers over here? 15,
Yes.
21, 28, 36?
Yes.
Yes. So those are under triangular numbers. You need to know this particular trick also. Not every time you will draw that pyramid shape. If it is up till 100, you won't spend your time doing that. You just need to keep the sequence in mind that every time it is added by one number. Okay, so 1 plus 2, then 3 plus 3. Likewise, it goes on increasing in order to form that pyramid. Okay, so the answer is triangular numbers. Next one you have over here, that if xy is equals to 5 and x plus y equals to 36, you need to find out the value of x square plus y square. So here, just observe it once and try and think what type of situation can be applied over here. What type of formula? I'll give you a hint. A formula has been applied over here. But what type of formula is applied? Just think. You have to find out the value of x square plus y square, and already x plus y is there. Xy is also there. X plus y is also there. You just need to find out the value of x square plus y square. How will you approach to such type of question? I hope you all know the identity of a plus b the whole square. Can you all just tell me the formula of a plus b the whole square? A plus b the whole square equals to
A square plus 2AB plus B.
very good. A square plus 2ab plus b square. If we apply this formula in this particular kind of situation, you will definitely get an answer. Let's see how. So the options are given like this. We will apply this formula. So I have applied over here a square plus 2ab plus b square wala formula. In this term, you will get it as x square plus y square. It is like this. X plus y the whole square equals to 36 square. This I have applied it over here. I have squared it on both the parts. When I square it on both the sides, what answer do I get? If I expand this particular bracket, what answer will I get? X square plus 2xy plus y square equals to 296, which is the square of 36. Yes, after doing so, if I take this number and take this number together, I have it like this, x square plus y square. And what am I left with? 2 into xy. So 2 as it is, and do I have the value of xy? Yes, I have the value of xy and I've applied over here, that is 2 into 5, which gives you 1296. Once that is done, I will bring this as it is. 2 into 5 is 10 and 1296 as it is. Again, I'll keep to x square plus y square as it is, and I will bring 10 on the other side, and the answer that I receive is 1286. So just by applying the normal formula a plus b the whole square or x plus y the whole square, I'm directly getting the answer. So you need to find out what exactly is given, and sometimes your answer are actually in your question itself. So you need to read it out in such a way that it will actually trigger your head to focus on such type of hint points. Okay? So 1286 is your correct option. Okay, this question is pedagogical type, how you as a teacher will deal with such kind of scenario. I want you all to answer this question. A teacher conducted a debate in the class on the following topic, that is 0 is the most significant number, and she encouraged every child to express his or her view on the topic. The teacher over here is doing what? Is making her class more interactive and communicative and reflective. Is she passing her time as students are not in the mood of studying? Is she using her mathematics class as life skill class to develop value of argument among the children, or inducing problem solving skill among the children? Which according to you will be most appropriate answer? Unmute and answer, come on. Come on, girls. These are basic questions. You need to score 6 on 6 in pedagogical type of question. You cannot waste that much time while thinking. Okay.
Making her classroom more communicative and reflective.
Very good, very good. Why? Because we are talking regarding debate. Since we are talking regarding debate, we are making class more interactive, more reflective and communicative. Obviously, fourth point was also equally correct, but we are not solving any problem over here. We are just having a debate, we are just having a conversation, and therefore, point number 1 is the most appropriate option. Okay, next one. Present age of son is 1/3 times the present age of his father. 12 years later, the age of the son will be half of the age of his father. You need to find out the present age of the son in years. You all must be dealing with such type of questions multiple times, because this type of questions are important, equally confusing. So your present ages are not known, and therefore we will consider the present ages like this. You can just go through this particular solution. The present age is not known, neither of the father nor of the son. So we are just considering the present age of the father as x. If you consider the present age of father as x, the first criteria which is given, you can divide again the question under 2 or 3 sections in order to simplify. The first one is present age of the son is 1/3 times the present age of the father. So what are you going to do? You're going to use that particular part. So we are given that the boy is now 1/3 old as his father. Yes or no? You already have x as present age of the father, and 1/3 is boy's 1/3 times of father's age is nothing but boy's age. So boy's present age will be x upon 3. Why? Because you have just multiplied 1 by 3 into x in order to achieve the present age of the son. So it gives you x upon 3. Now moving on to the next part, 12 years later. If you check 12 years later, you just have to add 12 to father's current age and boy's current age. So that will be x plus 12, x plus 12 and x by 3 plus 12. Okay, so these are the ages after 12 years. What is happening after 12 years? The age of the son will be half of the age of the father. So here what are you going to do? Half the age of the father will be age of the son. So you need to compare both the categories, that father's half age will be son's current age after 12 years. When you put that particular part into equation and solve it by simplifying it further, you will get x equals to 36. Will you stop here? Will you mark the answer as 36 over here? You will make mistake while giving the correct option in hurry. You might select 36. But is it what is asked over here? They have asked what? They have asked the present age of the son. And what did you just find? You have just found out the present age of the father. You need to find out for the son, and in order to do that, you need to go one step ahead. And the present age of the boy will be x by 3. So value of x is nothing but 36 divided by 3, and the value comes equal to 12. This is how you're going to solve. Here, most of your critical thinking goes in putting up those equations. After the statements are converted into equations, how will you deal with that kind of situation? Consist marks. Okay. Moving on to the next one. 6x square minus xy is to 2xy minus y square equals to 6 is to 1. You need to find out the value of x is to y. This is ratio proportion type of question which might be asked in your exam. So this is very simple type of question which will be asked. So here you just need to know that the ratio wala part is nothing but division. You just need to apply division over here. Just over here, if you see, you have applied over here division. So this is your main question, and instead of writing in is to form, what have I done? I've just put it under division format. Once I put it under division format, you just have to cross multiply. As you can see over here, I've cross multiplied, and after cross multiplication, I arrive over here. That is 6x square minus 13xy plus 6y square. You all know this format, factorization, 6, 6 are 36, okay? So you need to find out the proper factors which will be used as middle terms. 9 fours are 36 and 9 plus 4 gives you 13. So bigger number sign will be given to 9 and smaller number sign to 4, and accordingly you will segregate and write. Then when you go ahead and you solve, you will get x upon y equals to 3 by 2 and x upon y as 2 by 3, which can be written as x is to y equals to 3 is to 2 and x is to y equals to 2 is to 3. Both the options are correct. You can either write 3 is to 2 or 2 is to 3, and therefore you get the answer as option number 1, that is 3 is to 2. This is pedagogical type of question which basically emphasizes on your knowledge about such type of rules and principles. So this is direct question, and the answer to that is sum of any two irrational numbers will be either rational or irrational. Okay. So certain guidelines from our point of view with respect to the preparation of your TET exam is you need to work smart, you need to learn techniques and tricks. Not all the question will have tricks and techniques, but even if you get for few, it will be quite beneficial for you all. So you need to work smart, not hard, and learn techniques and tricks. Other than that, you need to segregate your topics according to the weightage. Okay, there are different topics. Okay, like you have profit and loss, you have discount and commission, you have fractions, you have probability. Out of that, check the past question papers. From that, check which question has appeared again and again, and which question is consisting of more marks. So according to the weightage, segregate the topics. You need to go through all the past question papers because it will be quite helpful for you all. Attempt each and every question. Don't leave any question blank. Even if you are unsure about it, just give it a try. Other than that, you need to refer all your textbooks. If you are applying for paper 1, right from standard 1 to standard 4. If you are applying for paper 2, it will be standard 6 to standard 8. Other than that, you can refer to your D.Ed and D.El.ED textbooks also, because most of your content is available in your D.Ed textbooks. and you need to even apply for mock test papers which are easily available on websites. So with this I end my session.
I take this opportunity to thank all our teachers for conducting this seminar for TET students. Thank you, teachers, and God bless all of you.